So now we have the last speaker in the theme of kind of unleashing your potential, and his name is Sam Parr. I met him at his annual conference, HustleCon, and I was really impressed by his practical approach to getting things done.
What's up? How's everyone doing? I kind of have to look at these to see what I'm talking about, so I'm going to be peeking over a little bit. But I've got some bad news. Nobody cares about you. I know it's kind of hard to hear, but as I get going with this presentation, it'll make a little bit more sense. But so the reason this presentation came to be was when I was a little bit younger, when I first moved to San Francisco, I would send lots of emails because I didn't know anyone here. I had started a company, and I needed to get in touch with people. Also, when I was in high school, I had okay grades, but I was trying to work my way around the system by emailing directly to the decision makers at universities, or same thing with hiring managers. So I ended up sending a lot of emails at a young age, and well, not a lot of them got answered. And so I kept wondering, I'm not sure if it's going through, if I got the right email address, or if they're just ignoring it. So that's why this presentation and the skill set that I've learned doing this has came to be. So I'm not going to talk too much about myself, except for right here. I've founded 2 companies. One was acquired. Right now I run something called HustleCon Media. I also get paid to write emails for people, write the copy on websites. And when we had Bunk, my roommate matching company, we sent literally millions of emails a week, like to huge campaigns. So I've messed up literally millions of times before I actually found out how to do all this right. So I've failed a ton of times, which is why I've kind of learned how this stuff works. Okay, so one thing I'm going to talk about, and I know, or who has sent an email in the last week? Okay, so nearly everyone. Then I'm going to guess that you've made this mistake, and I cannot stand it. One, because I've done it all the time. I still do it every once in a while. I know y'all do this because I see it every single day when I get asked to do things, or if someone's just cold emailing me trying to sell something. And I see it all the time, and it makes me cringe, and that is boring and stale emails. They are the worst. And this doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're emailing, like the previous speaker was saying, shotgun approach, trying to get internships and things like that, it's going to hurt you big time. Here's an example that I got 2 nights ago, actually. You could read it there, but it was clearly someone from India because they said it was they're Indian, but I could read the language there. We are mobile iPhone apps web design development firm with 155 professionals based out of National Capital Region, India. Okay, first of all, that first sentence, whenever you read that, you're just going to want to send that straight to junk. So we're going to teach you how to write a better email so you're going to get noticed. Okay, and the way I'm going to teach you is what I think is the most powerful formula that I've ever read. To this day, I still use it. I use it for every time I write email, every time I write a blog post, or every time I write even a Facebook status. I use this formula. It goes back for years and years and years. And it actually originated with direct marketing. So direct marketing is still around today, but before the internet, if you wanted to sell like sunglasses or a book or even real estate, you would find a list of tens of thousands of people based off of, you could research them and you could buy lists of their address, and then you would use just one single piece of paper. You would have 1 or 2 photos, and you would just write a whole page trying to convince someone who you've never met and they've never seen your product to buy something. And so when you had to do that, you had to learn how to use words effectively and efficiently. And that's how this formula came about. And that formula is called ADA. It's pretty popular. Has anyone heard of this? You have? So we got like 2 or 3. So then you guys are in for a treat because this is an awesome, awesome, awesome formula. So every time you write, keep this in mind. ADA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a normal email that I receive all the time, and I'm going to break it down with you guys. So we're going to see exactly how we can turn a crappy email into an awesome email. This is more for sales, but if you're trying to get into a college, if you want to get in touch with to have someone for a meeting about a university you want to attend, or if you want to get an internship or something, we'll change the example as we go just to apply it to that a little bit more. But so this starts off with, subject is hello from helicopters.com. So let's assume that somebody is trying to sell me a helicopter. I guess someone found out that I like to buy helicopters, and so they're trying to sell me one. So it says, Dear Sam, Helicopters.com has been around, or has been in business since 1996. We've served thousands of customers across the globe, and we deeply care about our customers. Our business started because we were passionate about helicopters, and you can clearly see that in the quality of helicopters that we produce. I'd love to sit down for coffee and pick your brain. That's how it's going to end. Has anyone ever used that phrase, pick your brain? I recommend you don't do that ever again, because everyone uses it. And if you want to stand out, don't use that. Okay, so let's start with the A. We're going to get someone's attention. Now, 99 or 90% of people, when they write emails, the first sentence is, hi, my name is this or that, and I do this or that at this company. And so we're going to try and just cut that out right at the bat and realize that big shots receive requests and emails, like hundreds of requests and emails a day. Sometimes, for someone really popular, they'll get thousands per week. So the first sentence needs to grab their attention. So if I'm going to do that in this case, I'm going to say, subject's going to be high traffic, drive over it. So instead of saying, dear Sam, what's happening, Sam? I mean, that's not completely outlandish, but it's kind of out there enough that you don't see it every day. You know how that morning commute of yours is painful, so painful that you end up cursing at everyone in front of you? Well, that wouldn't be the case if you had a helicopter. That's an all right first line. That you're going to grab someone's attention with that. So at least they're going to read your first sentence. So the next part of the formula is interest. So we got to get them interested. And this is really hard, but once someone has read your first line, the goal to this next sentence is to create a slippery slope, meaning they've read one sentence, now we want to get them to read the second and third sentence by creating something that's really easy to read and makes them want to go down like a water slide. So the best ways to do this is to say really intriguing facts, to tell a really brief 1, 2, 3, or 4 sentence story. Or you can make something, you can even ask questions, but whatever it does, it has to be interesting or it has to appeal directly to what they want, not who you are. So if we're going to create that slippery slope for this email, it's with a helicopter, you would get to work 20% of the time, you're going to save money on gas, and you will be able to fly over 200 miles an hour. If this guy has heard about me and how I hate traffic, this really appeals to me. I'm extremely interested in this, and I'm going to keep reading. The third section is desire. So this is when we're going to flip a switch from, in this section of anytime you write an email, you're going to be interested in it. Now this is the point where you say to yourself, holy hell, I really need this. I want this product. I want whatever this guy's offering. I love this. This is when that flip switches from like when you go and research different books you want to buy versus reading the product of a book or reading the product description of some book, and you read the description and you go, oh, this is it. I got to have it. So this is where we make that switch. And so the best way to do this is to do testimonial, social proof, or get your foot in the door, or ease of use. So what that means is you say to them, if ease of use would be like, I will come to you, I will bring this to you, all you have to do is say yes. It just, you make them desire by saying, this is so simple, I would be dumb not to say yes. And you could also do it by answering all the questions and answering all the objections that they would ever have to saying yes to your request. So you go ahead and in your mind you say, why wouldn't this person say yes to what I'm asking them? And then you just go and address all of those in this section. So for our email that we're using, I would say something like, your time is worth $200 per hour. You're spending 300 hours a week in traffic, which means you're wasting 60 grand a year. That's extremely interesting. You see that number? If it's a guy who can afford a helicopter, I mean, he's probably making $200 an hour, and now he's wasting 60 G's. I mean, that's real. That makes you want to buy it. Plus, the helicopter is only $120,000, so only after a few years you're going to be profitable. That makes me want to buy a helicopter if I'm making $200 an hour and I'm spending all this time in traffic. And did I mention that helicopters last for 10 years? It's like, you'd be crazy not to want this. So the final part is action. So we got to explain how they act. This sounds very obvious, but what you need to know is that you need to walk this person through the action process as if you're holding their hand. So, for example, if you want an internship, you say, you describe yourself by going through the action, interest, and desire, and then you would say, if you're interested in having me on your team as an intern, call me back right now, or call me back today. Here's my phone number. I'll be able to answer, and then we'll be able to move forward the next steps, which hopefully would mean a meeting next Saturday, or something like that. Be extremely, extremely, extremely specific, more specific than you think needs to happen. So for this, it says, For our example, it's, look, I know a helicopter isn't something that you buy online without trying out first. So how about we meet Saturday at 1 p.m. in Mountain View so you can check one out. If you're interested in this, just all you have to do is reply to this email, and I'll call you back right away with more details. So this is the email that we started with. You could read, we read it earlier, but you could read it now. Pretty boring. And it goes to we change it to this using ADA formula. This is the most basic form, this is the most basic application of this process, but I promise you, if you use this from every email that you write from now on, you're gonna have significantly more results. And just remember that the reason this works is no one cares about you, they only care about what they want. And so this formula just helps you appeal to their needs, and you will thus get what you want more often. So if you need to contact me, and if you want to send me some funny emails or something that you want me to review or something, I'm sam@samparr.com. I also have my company is HustleCon.com, and if you go there, you can see how we use all types of wacky copy and wacky words on our webpage. And we do this because we've proven that we make way more money and have way more sales when we write with the ADA formula than when we don't. So that's all, and thank you.